Welcome to Geek Out SA. This is episode 64. 64. And we have Oscar, original gamer. What's going on?
I'm like your Regis Philbin for the Late Show, where it's just, hey, someone canceled. You want to come in? Yeah, sure. Is that how it is?
No, we didn't actually have anybody.
Oh, it's even better. We didn't even know anybody was coming.
We didn't even know anybody, have anybody.
Why?
Oh, let's just call Oscar.
Yeah,
He'll come in. He'll do it.
Like I said.
Why not? It's fun. We always have fun. I mean, last time we saw each other was at San Japan, and we did a little recording after we actually figure out what was going wrong with all the video, and then that video came out pretty good.
Yeah, just us talking. Panel went great. It was half full, but there was a lot of stuff going on. We gave away a lot of games. That's
nice.
That's what I always say, is that there's a lot of games to give away, and a lot of people participate, and everybody enjoyed it. I do have to say, though, for everybody that's going to San Japan next year, if you go to Video Game Jeopardy, the questions are going to get harder, because this is the first year that all the questions are answered. So next year, they're going to get harder. Yeah.
As well they should, as it's going to be, 8-bit?
Yeah, and it's going to be, we're going to go back in the day. We're going to go back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
ColecoVision. Yeah. So, I mean, what's going on right now for Original Gamer?
The site itself, running like usual, news, reviews, articles, of course, the Original Gamer podcast. And it's just... This is we're coming out of the drought of the video game season. Summer is horrible. So
yeah, I know Matt had a big time trying to get some news out.
Nothing.
I was like, what are you talking about? There's stuff everywhere. How can there not be?
Yeah, no.
Not during summer.
Apps don't count. App games don't count.
Not for me. I'm too lazy. There's so many apps. I mean, I'm not going to go and review every single one, all right?
App-wise, they are improving. Right now, it's focusing on the 2 minutes on the toilet gaming, or
on the toilet,
or it's focusing on, Candy Crush wannabes, and the Simpsons Tap Out wannabes. Mm-hmm. Like there was Simpsons Tap Out, now there's Family Guy, so everybody's trying to cash in on everything. Mm-hmm. Whatever's most popular, that's what they're trying to cash in on. But I think now, because of the controller, they're going to start getting in there and say, let's make some real games. Yeah. Let's make some games that have some substance to it, not just games where, hey, look at the bird.
Yeah. Well, we're already seeing some of that, too, with the BioShock being re-released on iOS, I believe. Because I think they're talking about doing it to Android also, but they've only officially done it to iOS. So, yeah, a game like that, I couldn't imagine playing it touchscreen. There's just too much that goes on. And I haven't seen it. It looks good, like on the screen, though. Mm-hmm. But actual gameplay wise, I don't know how that's gonna work out without a controller. So.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I mean, it looks good. But yeah, you're right. It's control wise, it's a little bit touch and go.
Yeah.
But they are that's showing that they're trying to say, well, this is not just an Angry Birds machine.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very cool. Now, I heard a little thing about a glitch in Madden 2015.
So
that little guy.
In the case of all the sports games, there's a variety of glitches that happen because there's so much going on. There's so many. You can look through every year the FIFA games, the basketball games. Constantly, you'll have stuff going on. In this case, with Madden. Mm-hmm. Madden 15. Just little carry. Let him go.
I got that. Little tiny guy. And he's a Titan.
I think that's what they got, but it with these glitches, they could pop in on any. But that's what was recorded.
And then, the UFC.
Okay, so with EA Sports UFC, because you're rolling around and you're grabbing each other and the way it works, because characters can glitch out, you have characters in totally opposite parts of the map, parts of the octagon, who are still grappling with each other in a weird way. The funny thing about it, they have videos on YouTube of this, is that Joe Rogan and Goldberg, the play-by-play guy, they're still commentating. Look at him go! He's grabbing him. He's about to put him in a camera, and they're not even doing anything. They're just all over the place. Angles all over, and it's like but it's rarely do you have that sort of commentary. It's because he's really like, oh, look at him, punch him, look at him, and it's not even happening. There's some weird glitches that happen. But again, this is what happens when you have a game where it's so realistic, there's so much physics going on, and then just one little physics, boom, right into each other, and it screws everything up. Yeah.
That's crazy. I want to play it, the Madden one, just to see it glitch out and see that the little lineman is like smaller than the football.
Well, there was a glitch on one of the NBA. I think it was NBA, maybe 2K13 to 2K12, where one of the characters is like 50 feet tall. Yeah. It takes up the whole screen. It's just 50 feet tall. This one of the players.
We were talking about earlier about this thing going on in the gaming industry.
3 weeks ago, a developer by the name of Zoe Quinn, her ex-boyfriend, came out and said how she cheated on him, and she got some notoriety last year. She was trolled for her game Depression Quest. She put it out there, and people were, oh, screw her. She's talking about depression and blah, blah, let's, attack her. So the trolls are being weird. But this came out, and he had some proof. He had some logs and so on, and saying how she cheated and blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, that itself is like, ooh, scandalous. TMZ-ish. Where it sort of went a extra step was that apparently she had an affair with someone from Kotaku. So Kotaku is the #2 video game website in the world. Immediately, people started talking about what's going on. Why is this happening? Why are developers and reporters having all with each other? Why are they doing that? So people started getting angry, and people started wanting answers. Kotaku came out and said, "Hey, you know what? There's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's not, it's fine." But gamers were saying, "Hey, you know what? We don't like this. We trust you as the journalist. We want you to be upfront with us. Just disclose information. Be ethical." Because when it comes to journalism, it's a whole different rule of ethics. Well, more stuff came out. Certain other writers, certain other reporters people started uncovering little ties with other developers, to where it's this very tight-knit community of reporters that are writing about the developers' games, but they have a little something together. It's not sex, but there's sometimes monetary involvement there. Someone's putting money into their project. Someone actually rented out a room to a reporter, and that reporter talked about this person's games. So there's a lot of little cronyism going on. And then during this time as well, Nita Sarkeesian, she does the Feminist Frequency, video games versus tropes versus women, the video series that she's doing. And with that, she put it out there, and she's very controversial regarding her videos. She put it out there, and the next day after she put the video out on YouTube, she received death threats.
Wow.
And then the death threats got so bad, she had to leave her house for the night. Now, because of that, and because of this drama happening regarding gamers journalism, because of this person, Zoe Quinn, all this started getting together. So then journalists started fighting back. If you go to Kotaku, if you go to Polygon, there's a lot of different, Gama Sutra, there's a lot of articles saying gamers are dead. Gamers are not important. Now they were fighting back, saying that people that call themselves gamers are pretty much losers. So then the gamers are fighting back, saying, they're calling it Gamergate, saying you guys are just in bed with each other, what's going on? And they're fighting back, so there's a little war going on. Now, a lot of people won't know about it. A lot of people play their games that will never hear about this. But it's involving a lot of big-time journalists, and it's involving a lot of developers. There's talks about cronyism regarding an indie game competition. So there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of... When it comes to the journalism side of things, there's a lot of things that need to be figured out. It's very scandalous.
Journalists.
Hey, we run...
What affair are you having right now?
Well, if you need to know. You need to know. There's this one.
And you heard it here on Geek Out SA.
But, at my site, we run a clean ship.
Mm-hmm.
So, at a lot of these other sites, because it's easy. When it comes to the indie developers, I've talked to a lot of indie developers. They're great because they themselves, they love video games. They love talking to people about video games, and they're very accessible. I can't really get in touch with the person. Like for Grand Theft Auto 5,
Mm-hmm.
you can't talk to those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're never around. But I could talk to someone that makes. There's a game called Crypt of the Necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. It's a rhythm game, but it's also a dungeon game. So you have to play on the beat. So you got to move around in the beat and got to kill enemies on the beat. It's a fun game.
Nice.
That guy.
I've never. Have you heard of that, man?
I've heard of it. I hadn't had a chance to play it yet, though, but I had heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool little game. It's in Steam Early Access. But that game there, that guy, contact him pretty quickly. A lot of other developers I can contact pretty quickly. And so because you get in contact with so many developers, relationships are forming, and then that's when there's a line that needs to be drawn. So that's a bit of drama that's happening, and it continues. Like I said, Josh Whedon,
Mm-hmm.
he tweeted something about it. Elijah Wood tweeted something about it.
Wow.
So it's bringing out all these geek people. BBC has reported on it. Al Jazeera reported on it today. So even the mainstream press are reporting.
Wow.
But it's nuts.
Big homie. Now that you're going to be a serious journalist on Geek Out SA.
Define serious.
Define serious. Yeah, what affairs are you going to start having?
Well, you know what? I forgot to bring my agenda because it's like this long of a lot of. It's a lot. Let's put it that way. From I guess you could say from haunted houses, charities, appearances, just like Alamo City Comic Con coming soon, Christmas events. So it's kind of a long list right now. But
what about your toured affairs that you're going to have now?
Just check
Just
his
to go
phones for any
along.
sexting.
I know.
Yeah.
We need to check your phone for sexting. Because we encourage that here on Geek Out SA. Only if you're 18 or older. And if
so this
they
show is
want it.
uncensored
No.
then, right? Well, sexting was that was never on my agenda, thank God.
Very cool. And do you play any games right now?
Yes, I do.
What are you playing?
Well, now I'm playing Madden 15. So far, I have not had a glitch. I mean, it was funny though, because when I saw that photo of that little football player, it kind of reminded me of Super Mario Brothers, where a football player just got tackled pretty hard and he wound up shrinking, just like Super Mario, when he touches one of those.
Koopas.
Huh?
Koopas.
There you go. Sorry, it's been a while since I played Super Mario. But, he shrinks, so it kind of reminds me of that. But, yeah, I've been playing, like I said, a little bit of Madden games. I played the Diablo game, but I only played it once because, I've been too busy.
Play it more.
How can you always only play it once?
I know.
It's addictive.
It's a long story.
I when I was playing Diablo, the very first one, all I could think about, even at work, was just, I gotta get home and play Diablo. I gotta get home and play Diablo. I gotta get home and play Diablo. And that's the first thing I did when I walked through the door. I turned on the computer because they had it just on PC then.
That's not true. They had it on PS1. It was just a bad port.
Yeah. Back when it first came out.
Oh, back when it first came out,
was
yeah,
just
you're right.
PC.
That's true. That's
yeah.
true.
It took a while for it.
Yeah, it did.
It took a long while.
And it was a bad port, too.
But but you could do some interesting stuff with the first one that you couldn't do on the other ones. Like you could I think you set up a different connection to each other where you could do the peer-to-peer stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the only way you could do real. Well, you could do online play back then, but you had to set up a LAN.
And it was slow the other way. But when you did it like between
if you
each
set up
other,
a
it was
LAN,
fast.
Yeah, that's always going to be fast.
Yeah. So I like that. But going along, since we're doing a whole bunch of video game stuff, what do we all think about Amazon taking and offering more for Twitch than Google did?
Well, I don't know if it was actually offered. I just think that Google, I forget the exact reason, Google backed out.
Mm-hmm.
So Amazon jumped in. And Amazon paid $970 million. So
Jeez.
right at a bill. In the case of Amazon, I know a lot of people that are big Twitch people. They prefer it over Google. If you go to YouTube, if you have to deal with YouTube at all, like God forbid you put on like a Beatles song in the background right now, this would be. The YouTube is very strict when it comes to copyrights.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could. If I were to hum a Beatles song right now, we would get taken off. So. Because
Stop
YouTube,
saying that. No. Don't even say
Don't
that.
even think about humming it.
Band name.
Oh, you know, Sergeant. But because the way YouTube is very strict, it became it's a problem. So with Amazon, it seems like it's being less of a stickler. Amazon is trying their best to jump into the whole game market. They released a Kindle. Not the Kindle Fire, the Amazon Fire console. So that's like, yeah, it does Amazon Prime, but also does a few games. They bought out Double Helix, the guys who made the Killer Instinct game. So they want them to make more games. I think they have another developer working on games. So they want to really work on the game side. And considering that Amazon is with the Amazon Prime and then with Twitch, who knows if they're going to be integrated, who knows if they won't. But a lot of people prefer that Amazon bought Twitch instead of Google. Yeah.
Cool. What do you think, Matt?
I'm glad because YouTube was already, well, Google, because it's owned by, or YouTube's owned by Google. They were already
Even though that's where we air our stuff.
We love you, YouTube. No, we won't put music up. I swear. No. But they were already talking about killing music on Twitch, basically getting rid of it, taking it off completely. And a lot of it, and I know I use a program when I Twitch that plays music automatically in the background. You can actually have your viewers request music so that they have something there. You know, they feel engaged. It's not just me sitting there going, okay, and I'm playing this, and I'm doing this, and blah. And some people can do that really well, and it works for them. But a lot of us, I know, I'd rather have the music so that it's that bonus interaction between you and the crowd. So Google was already talking about shutting that down completely. That was already being removed from videos. Videos were being taken down already. I mean, Google hadn't even bought it yet, and they were already talking about Twitch taking down all these videos. So for Amazon to buy it, I really much prefer that. And I'm interested to see what they do with Prime because I'm a Prime member myself. So, and Twitch already has like their premium service, so I don't know if they're going to try to integrate the two. Like if you have Prime, you get the Twitch Premium for free, or how they're going to do that. So that's going to be interesting for me, and I think Amazon buying it's a lot better for a lot of us at Twitch. So.
And I hadn't, when you first started doing Twitch, I'd heard about it. I didn't really look at it until you started doing Twitch. And there's a lot of cool stuff on Twitch. Since I've been checking all the stuff out, I was watching with Heather Leet today, and they were playing like this Super Mario like collection thing that has all of them.
Well, there's a lot of experiments that happen on Twitch. There was a couple months back. There was a thing called Twitch Plays Pokemon. So the way it worked was that the guys behind it, they created a program where people in the chat told what the game to do. So people in the chat were saying up, down, left, right, B, A, select, whatever. Because of that, it was a crowd of people playing a game, crowd gaming. And they actually beat the game. So they kept on, they beat the other games. And it was crazy to see because it was 10,000 people all at once saying A, B, B, B. So it was crazy. Now there's another thing that's being experimented on, which is fish play, like Twitch fish play.
Yeah.
And
What is that?
so it was this group out of New York where they had this crazy idea. It was part of this whole what they call a game jam. They had an idea where let's do something unique. So they put a fishbowl up, and then what they programmed was a sort of overlay on the fishbowl. So wherever the fish was, corresponds to a button. So if the fish goes here, that's A. If fish goes down here, that's left. If fish goes up here, that's B. So the fish was playing. The problem is fish actually sleep, so the fish could be just in up the whole time. So there's a lot of experiments like that makes Twitch interesting. Of course, like the big thing I do is tournaments. I watch a lot of fighting game tournaments on there, and those are getting insanely popular. And then of course the MOBAs, League of Legends and Dota, daily basis. That's like 100,000 people.
Now, League of Legends, that's a big game right now because like everybody but me is playing that.
Well, the reason League of Legends is so big, I have a couple different reasons. A, it's low resources. You don't need a powerful computer to play. A computer that's like 6-7 years old. As long as you have a good, even decent video card from 7 years ago, you're probably gonna be able to play it. So that's there. Also, it's free, so there's nothing you have to pay into. Also, the way it works is that the more you play, the more you unlock. So you want that cool character, well, you got to play, and you got to keep on playing. The reason why I always say that it's a real competitive and really popular competitively is that for League of Legends and the MOBAs in general, they're for people that suck at competitive games. Now I'll explain myself because people don't get it. When you play, for example, Halo or Street Fighter, you have to have that amazing reaction. Those guys get tested. They're 20 times faster reaction than the normal human being. You have to have crazy natural reflexes to do that. When it comes to League of Legends, you don't need that. You have to be quick, but you don't have to have almost superhuman reflexes. So the combination of not having to have those reflexes and not having to have this muscle memory, like in Street Fighter, where you have to put in a button press within one frame out of 24 or 30. So without that, you don't have that sort of physical requirement. All you really have to do is you have to be insanely knowledgeable about the game. You have to not only every character, you have to know everything they do. You have to know what kind of build to do. You have to know what every item does. You have to know what every item does to this person, what this ability does to this character, to that character. Why are they going here? Why are they going there? Why aren't they going here? What's the strategy? You have to know all that. And that's for a lot of people. That's why they love it, because they don't have to be quick on the reflexes. All they have to do is just study the game, and why not study a game?
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Briefly. I don't have, with all the stuff that I do, I don't really always have that much time to.
If you do, I could say the League of Legends fan base, the community, pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, God forbid you start dying, because they will be just nonstop. You're destroying the team. You suck. So
it's because the learning curve is rough on League of Legends. It's rough. Like, I know I've heard people start playing immediately and be great at it, but when I tried, it is rough, man. When you're playing with, like, you're a newbie and the people that are better than you, it is very obvious immediately that they are much, much better than you. And it's like you said, it's all about knowing all the characters and everything. So if you try to jump into it and you don't do any, preemptive research or try to figure out how the game works, you are going to get ruined every single time. But it's fun when you know what you're doing. Like, I've watched people play, and it's awesome to watch good people play. But if you're bad, just let it go. Don't play anymore. Just watch somebody else who's good play. It'll be much more interesting.
Yeah. But the MOBAs in general, there's a wide variety of them. There's a DC one where you play as... there's like 3 different Batmans to play as. There's 3 different Supermans to play as. So it's all these DC characters. Then there's one that's coming out that you're going to be able to play as fictional, fable characters like Little Red Riding Hood and Robin Hood. So that's coming out. So the MOBAs is now one of the more popular genres that everybody's trying to get on. Because if you have a popular one, I mean, it's a big deal. Like Dota 2, they had the Invitational. And the grand prize the prize pool was $4 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So the team that won took $1 million home.
Are you playing, Big Homie? League of Legends?
Never heard of it.
Okay, so me and Big Homie, we're the only ones that aren't playing League of Legends yet.
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 Because, he's like in the same schedule as I am, too, so it's...
We have, too much to do and too little time, but that's because we love you. Geek Out SA.
Wow.
No, that's really, really awesome. Anything else going on in the gaming world?
Right now, I mean, we're coming up. We just finished PAX Prime. I'm talking about it. And then also coming up at the end of the month is Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm.
Revelations 2, Resident Evil, that was announced. Nintendo has already put stuff out there. They're having a new 3DS. So Nintendo's putting stuff out there. And then Sony's putting stuff out there. Not all of that's going to come into the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is. There's a lot of studios. There's a lot of publishers in the U.S. that pick on those niche games. Like right now, I'm playing a game called Akiba Trip. It's like a long title, but the whole point of the game is that you play as these Japanese geeks that hang out at Akihabara. You're there, and there's this whole fighting style where you got to use like general stuff like umbrellas and like a billy club, but when you attack someone, you're not attacking their health points. You're attacking their close points. So
nice.
So you attack. If you attack you can attack their head. So you're attacking their like helmets or whatever their hat is. You're attacking their shirts. So it's three. They have 3 sets of health points, and then when it goes down to 0, well, I mean the clothes are down to 0. So that means you got to take them off, and that's what you have to do. So if you're attacking someone and you're beating on them, and it looks like their pants are at 0. Well, you just got to grab their pants and you got to throw them off. And then you got to grab their shirt and you got to throw it off. And you got to grab their hat and throw it off. And then they're in their underwear. Wow. And then they're dead. So there's a lot of niche games like that are making their way over.
And that's an indie game?
It's from I believe that's from Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Atlas and NIS America and Xseed. Those are studios that they're looking for all these very niche titles that focus on very geek and Japanese heavy culture. That there is a fan base here. It's not a huge fan base, but they try to bring those games over, and it's they're pretty interesting to check out. I'll put it that way. But TGS, Tokyo Game Show, and then of course, I mean the holiday season's coming up, and the month is Shadow of Mordor, so that's going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. It's a political Lord of the Ring game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not just hey, we're going to go drop this ring off. It's not that. Mm-hmm. It's more to it. You got to kill Sauron, but you have to actually work a political system within his armies.
Wow.
Then, of course, Destiny is next week. Halo with Diablo. Diablo with Halo, however you want to put that. The big game, of course, Call of Duty. 2 Assassin's Creed this year. 2 Assassin's Creed, Unity and Rogue. I actually think Rogue's going to be a bit more interesting. You play as a former assassin hunting assassins.
Wow. I know Big Homie. I just saw him a big for Assassin's Creed.
So you got 2
that's
of
your
them.
game?
For Assassin's Creed, you got 2 of them this year.
I'm ready.
Yeah, both of them on November 11th.
That's my Black Friday right there. You know. I'm ready. So excited about that game.
So it's going to be an interesting year. It's doesn't seem like it's much too crazy. Aside from the standard games, like there's going to be a new Far Cry and so on. The other big game, Dragon Age Inquisition. A lot of people are talking about that. So, but the game I want to play the most is called Hotline Miami 2. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy game. Crazy. And that's coming out later this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's some games.
I tell you the one that I'm waiting on, and I know Matt's waiting for this one too, is River City Ransom 2.
Oh. Yes, well, that was a Kickstarter, so I don't They haven't given us any information about when it's coming out, but they just keep keep getting emails of screenshots. I'm like, okay, I want it. I don't want the screenshots. Give it to me. So I don't know how long it's going to be before we're actually going to see that.
That's the thing with
That is like
Kickstarters.
one of my favorite games on the NES.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see that. Then they're adding so much stuff on that.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, that's sort of the beauty of Kickstarter. The problem is, they go in with high expectations, but they come out short. So, hopefully, it does come out. Because I'm a fan of it too.
Yeah. It was a
They
lot of
raised
money,
a
though.
ton of money.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, like you said, even though you raise a ton of money, you may come up short in the end, and then you have to push out a game that maybe not as high up to your standards as you wanted it to be. So that's definitely the danger with Kickstarter.
But still, big graphics.
It's still not cheap. It's still not cheap.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, the man hours is still definitely there.
You'd be surprised. I've talked to people, and they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize it was gonna be this hard." I talked to one guy, and he was just, the software alone, just to do this, is really expensive.
Oh yeah.
You have to buy licenses, and it's like thousands of dollars just for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. Well, Oscar, thanks for coming in. I always love it when you come in and drop down your gaming knowledge on us.
That's what I do.
So-
That's what I do.
I got some catching up to do.
I know you do. You'll be there. You'll be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and right now though, I mean, unless something surprised me, I think I'll say it now. Unless Dragon Age Inquisition is amazing,
Mm-hmm.
I think Walking Dead Season 2 might be a game of the year.
Really?
That last episode.
You were telling me.
That last episode was just, oh my god! Everybody once it went up, you could just see people on Twitter just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm crying. I know when I played, I was like, oh, why did I do that?
Wow.
Yeah, I think I got the worst ending.
What happened on your ending?
I can't reveal it. It's spoilers, but I can just tell you.
You don't tell me I haven't played it yet.
There's a
I'm waiting for
hard.
the 5th episode.
It's out.
Just text it to
Oh, it
me.
comes out next week, I thought.
No, it's already out. I already played it.
Oh,
It came out August 26, 27.
That's my birthday.
sad face.
My birthday.
But,
Now I have to go on.
I played it. There's this big choice that you have to do, and it's not like
Wow.
It's not like it's a heavy choice, and I did it the choice, and then there's a choice after that, and I'm like, yeah, I just what I'll put it this way, it went Game of Thrones on me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a great way to put it. So
Yeah, Game of Thrones is a big thing here at Geek Out SA.
yeah,
We talk about it a lot.
yeah, like I said, it went Game of Thrones on me. But yeah, unless I think Dragon Age Inquisition may be one of the better games, but if it doesn't hold up to its potential, then I think Season 2 Walking Dead may actually be up there.
Wow.
For a game of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you heard it here. So remember when it wins, he said it was going to win. But thanks again. Thanks for coming in. And they can catch you on Facebook and
It's
originalgamer.com.
originalgamer.com. For all your news, reviews, articles, of course, the Original Gamer Podcast. Follow the website at OG Sites on Twitter. Follow me, Original Gamer 1 on Twitter. And we're on Facebook as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for coming in. Well, that's about it. I guess we'll catch you next week. Next week, we're going to actually be talking with Red Star Gaming, and they do the Warhammer miniatures here in town. Excuse me. So we're going to find about what they're doing. You saw a little bit of them at San Japan, our San Japan episodes. So we're going to find out even more about them. But thanks for tuning in. I'm Vince.
Matt?
Big homie.
Geek Out SA.